We're here. We're here. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Beth. If you are new here and I like to talk about music, today we are jumping into the world of Madame X. I am going to be watching the album trailer that Madonna posted 5 years ago and then listening to the Madonna album Madame X, which came out in 2019. It is her most recent body of work and one of the albums that I've been kind of nervous about getting into because I know from a couple comments I've seen that she uses more auto-tune on this album and it just overall seems to not necessarily be a fan favorite. Although there are people who love this album and I want to go in with as much of an open mind as I can. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit nervous, but I do know that she had a really artistic vision for this album and I think that's really cool. You guys were saying, I believe she went to Portugal and then she got really inspired by the music there and just the culture, and so she came back and she wrote this album. And regardless of whether or not I connect to the album or people like the album, I think that's a beautiful way to make art, to be genuinely inspired by something and to go create art based on that. I think that's beautiful, and regardless of whether I like the album or not, I respect her for that reason. I will say, of all the comments I've seen, I have seen positive comments about this album, so it's not necessarily hated by everyone. It's just one of those things that I think is very polarizing amongst the fans. But first, I'm going to be checking out the Welcome to the World of Madame X video that Madonna posted 5 years ago, because you guys were saying this helps conceptualize the album. I thought that was a good idea to kind of get us started with a little bit more context going right into the album. So let's do that and then we will get right into the music. No pun intended. And my shirt does in fact say Lasagna Del Rey. It's the best shirt I own. And I get the sense that this is just a very different like persona and era for her than anything prior.
The thing that hurt the most was that I wasn't lost.
I decided to call my record Madame X.
I wasn't lost.
Wow, there's a lot of different kind of atmospheres and looks going on. Seems like it's gonna be a very eclectic vibe from what I'm seeing.
Madame X is a secret agent. I am Madame X. Traveling around the world, changing identities, fighting for freedom. Bringing light to dark places. I bring light to dark places. Madame X is a dancer. I'm a dancer. A professor. A head of state. A housekeeper. An equestrian. A prisoner. A student. A mother. A child. A teacher. A nun. A singer. A saint. A whore. And a spy. In the house of love. I'm Madame X.
So many different albums coming to mind as I watch this, like albums that were made after this, like Cowboy Carter and Tortured Poets Department. I know it's unrelated, but it's just like bringing those albums to mind.
X. I'm Madame X. 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 I'm Madame X.
Okay, that was kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. That kind of made me intrigued about the whole vibe of this album because, you know, as I've stated, Madonna is a super versatile artist. She has so many different aspects to her and sides to her musically. I'm sure visually as well. And as we get into the music videos and performances, I'm sure I will see more of that. But musically, she has so many different sides to her. And so I think that album trailer kind of highlighted that because it seems like she's putting on this persona of a shape-shifting woman who can just do all these different things and be so many different people. So interesting, to say the least. I also just want to say this track list is something. God Control, Killers Who Are Partying, Extreme Occident. But the first track, admittedly, I don't know how to pronounce it, but I did just look it up. It is a city in Colombia, and it is featuring Maluma. He is a Colombian singer. So if I'm not mistaken, Madonna went to Lisbon, Portugal, and then wrote this album after coming back. Fun fact, I have been to Lisbon. I have been to Lisbon, Portugal, as well as Porto, Portugal. Absolutely beautiful. Loved my experience there. I don't know what to expect. I'm scared.
1, 2, 1, 2, cha 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 cha. I took a pill and had a dream.
I took a pill in Ibiza? Sorry.
Had a dream.
Yo también.
I went back to my 17th year to be someone I've never been.
Me encanta.
Feels kind of introductory, like she's introducing this character.
Tranquila, baby, yo te apoyo. Si te llevo por un lugar lejano.
Sipping my pain just like champagne.
I love the verses.
With you,
I just don't like the chorus.
naked and alive.
Show me. Oye, mamacita, ¿qué te pasa? Yeah. Mira que ya estamos en mi casa. Yeah. Si tú quieres nos vamos por Detroit. Tú sabes, si sé de dónde vienes, pues sé pa' dónde voy.
I'm trying to pinpoint what I don't like about the chorus, and it's kind of hard to pinpoint it. I think part of it is, again, kind of that sparse, sporadic feeling that I didn't love about Love Song. I'm feeling that same kind of vibe from this song. The sounds chosen just don't really make sense to me. Their vocals are kind of just coming in at random moments and it doesn't feel super organized and again, maybe that's the vision and that could be totally an artistic choice. I'm just not sure that I'm a fan of it. Okay. This is fun. I like this part. This is kind of fun.
Slow down, Poppy.
Why do I kind of love that? I like it. I love it. I don't know.
We built a cartel just for love.
Oh my gosh. Why am I kind of vibing right now? Oh. Yeah. Love this layering. It's more full and it makes more sense to me. Wow, he's really heavily featured on this song. I'm not gonna lie, it's catchy. It's very catchy. It's hitting. It's hitting a little bit.
1, 2, 2, 1, 1, 2, cha 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 cha.
Okay. I don't know how to sum up how I felt. I would say I loved the verses and then I loved the second half of the song when it was really getting layered and full and there was so many different vibes going on. I thought it was really fun, really catchy. I was just kind of able to groove a bit more. First half of the song was a bit all over the place for me and I wasn't entirely sure how to feel. The verses were low-key gorgeous. I really loved how vulnerable, stripped down they were. I wasn't a huge fan of when Maluma would come in randomly during the verses because it felt very jarring and I just felt kind of taken out of the moment. But I did like him on the second half of the song. I thought the second half of the song when they came together was really cool and I really loved that section. So mixed feelings overall, but a song that I would probably listen to again. The next one is called Dark Ballet, probably the one that I've been the most curious to hear.
It's a beautiful life, but I'm not concerned.
Auto-tune.
I can dress like a boy, I can dress like a girl,
American Life.
'cause I'm not concerned.
Not a huge fan of the contrast between the auto-tune on her vocals and the piano. Because in my opinion, if you're gonna do a piano song, like just get rid of the auto-tune. Just give us the raw vocals. It'll hit so much harder and be a lot more powerful. I understand maybe she's trying to do a contrast where, you know, the auto-tune sounds really synthetic and kind of robotic and otherworldly, but the piano kind of grounds it and makes it feel more natural. I can see maybe there's a vision here. It's just, not sure about that.
'Cause your world is such a shame, 'cause your world's obsessed with fame, 'cause your world
Bringing light to the darkness, like the album trailer said.
up in flames. It's a beautiful plan, but I'm not concerned. Oh yeah. People tell me to shut my mouth, that I might get burned.
It's a bit hard to focus on the commentary that she's giving, of which I think is interesting. And I want to listen to what she's saying, but it's just a little hard to focus when there's so many different sound effects and like vibes present. Again, it's like, can you pick one? Can you either do a really stripped down song with really meaningful lyrics, strip it back so we can really pay attention to what you're hearing, or maybe do a more upbeat, kind of funky song that's experimental and more fun lyrics that we don't have to pay as much attention to? I don't know. I don't want to be too harsh. I feel like I'm already being harsh, but it's just because I can already tell I'm going to have mixed feelings on this vibe, and I'm going to have more to say that's potentially negative, and that's just, it is what it is. Wow. Very long. Very, very... Very chaotic. This is kind of reminding me of American Life, both in terms of the way it's heavy on the commentary, but also in the way that it's very chaotic, and a lot of the sounds coming in, like, she just switches it up every minute. You're having a completely different listening experience. No. Never use that effect again, please. I'm sorry.
They think we are not aware of their crimes.
And then we have this sound effect coming in that's really whimsical, and I kind of like it. It kind of reminds me of Dear Jessie, like that animated, childlike, whimsical feel. I just don't know what's going on with this song. It's all over the place.
We know, but we are just not ready to act. The storm isn't in the air. It's inside of us. Can't you hear outside of your Supreme hoodie?
What? Oh, Supreme the brand? Okay. I can't decide whether I hate it, love it, or both. That was kind of a cool transition, I'm not gonna lie. I can already tell this is an album I'm not gonna really know how I feel about some of the parts of it, because it's just very all over the place. And okay, let's listen to that transition again. I kind of like that. She lit it on fire. She kind of blew up. One more time. She was like dying, it sounded like. I kind of like that as a little outro moment, her blowing up, setting fire to the world that she was talking about throughout the song, it sounded like. I thought that was kind of artistic and beautiful. Sonically, I had moments of that song that I really liked, and I had moments that I really didn't like. I was not a fan of the vocal effect in the middle of the track. That was a great example of a vocal effect that I just straight up hated. Like, there was nothing about it that I really liked or felt like was giving me a pleasant listening experience. However, I think that could have been very meaningful at the same time, and I am going to try to look for the artistic meaning of this album, because I don't just want to shut it down and say, oh, I hated that, and that's the end of it. I want to look for the artistry and for the meaning of this album as much as I possibly can. So I don't think that vocal effect was necessarily meant to be pleasant to hear. I think it was intentionally unpleasant because it kind of went along with the theme of the song, of being in this very unpleasant world where everyone's trying to tell you what to do and control you, and dark ballet, like you feel like you're being controlled and manipulated maybe. But the next one is called God Control. Right into it.
Everybody knows the damn truth. What can we do? Get the kids ready, take them to school. They don't have a chance to get a decent job, to have a normal life.
And I think maybe the auto-tune could be to draw attention to the fact that this is a character she's playing. She's playing Madame X. This is not necessarily Madonna. This is a new version of her. And maybe that's why she used the auto-tune to differentiate her voice from this new character.
I think I understand why people get a gun. They say that we need love, but we need more than this.
I kind of like that. I will say, I'm seeing very intentional decisions with this album in every aspect of it. Like bringing in that choir sound for the lyric, "We lost God control." It's very fitting, obviously. And I do think that's intentional. I can already see a lot of intentionality in this album. And it is really hard to tell if she's saying we lost God control or we lost all control. And maybe that's, you know, intentional as well. I would never know it was God control unless that was the title of the song.
This is your wake-up call.
Okay.
This is your wake-up call.
Give me the dance pop.
Got it for pornography. A new democracy.
People think that I'm insane. The only gun is in my brain. Everybody knows the damn truth.
This is the most chaotic album I've ever heard in my life. It goes up the scale and then back down. Okay. There's certain sound effects and sonic choices that maybe I would like in a different song or in a different context. Like that kind of string thing. I don't know what you would call it, but there's moments that I'm like, okay, yeah. But in this song, I don't know if it's working for me, personally. Oh my god.
It's a weird kind of energy, fraternity, and I feel more than sympathy.
She's putting me under a spell. It's fine, just let it happen.
People think that I'm insane. The only gun is in my brain. Brain inside my only friend.
I don't know what to do with this.
Everybody knows the damn truth.
What is literally happening right now? This is the head bobbing moment though. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's vibe. It's vibe. I like the layered moments of this album. Like when she brings a lot of different things in, really layers it up. Yeah, very political.
Get the kids ready. Take them to school. Have job. Have a normal.
Oddly, I don't want the song to end. It's a 6-minute song and I genuinely am like, okay, let's just keep it going. I really love the second half of this song. It's so hypnotic. Like throughout the song, I feel like you're getting put more and more into like this hypnotic trance. And I think that's the whole point. Artistic meaning, artistic value in this album. You're losing control. Very long outro, but okay. I'm gonna make that my alarm in the morning. Just wake up to her whispering, wake up over and over again. Okay, I mean, the first half of that song, I was like, okay, it's not working for me with this auto-tuned kind of sound. I'm not a big auto-tune person. It definitely depends kind of on the artist, on the album, maybe the meaning behind including auto-tune and how much auto-tune is used and all of those things. But I will say that I loved the second half of that song. I got so into it and all I could do was like bob my head and just feel the vibes, and it was a really good energy and I just really loved all the layers and I just really enjoyed listening to it. And yeah, this is a bit more of a political vibe. It really is reminding me of American Life, but obviously having a very different experience than I did listening to American Life for the first time. Anyway, Future with Quavo.
Not everyone is coming to the future. Not everyone is here is gonna last.
Again, I feel like you kind of have to read the lyrics as you listen. Like the brass.
We can light up the dark. Everyone has a spark.
to shine.
This one's just a vibey wave. I'm just riding the wave all the way to the shore.
It's the future where we come from being wrong. But you know that I'ma rise above it all.
Yeah. Rising up from the ashes. It's giving Rebel Heart. I liked that one. I really liked the groove, the vibe, the beat, the energy. It was just kind of, you know, I was just sitting here vibing, bobbing my head. Like, I don't really have many thoughts about it, but it was just a vibe. And another kind of like political commentary song. You know, we're not all gonna be here forever, so let's just kind of try to get along. That's the energy that I got. The next one is Batuka. The drums.
It's a long way. There's a storm ahead.
It's like a social commentary cry. Like, we need to change. You know, we all need to come together to work for the betterment of the world and society. Why am I just like...
Road is long. 'Cause it's a long way. It's a long way.
So eclectic. The most eclectic album ever written. Every vibe under the sun is present in this album.
I was up all night. Get that old man. Put him in a jail.
What? It sounds like there's another artist in there, but I don't know if it's just a vocal effect or like Madonna doing a different vocal style. There's so many like atmospheric moments of this album where, you know, there's a little transition and you can hear the environment, and it's kind of putting you in a different place. It's kind of cool. I could fall asleep right now 100% because it's just putting me into that trance. Oh my gosh. That one just straight up put me into the Madonna trance. I was in a different world entirely. So yeah, I mean, I liked it. I like a song that can kind of put you in a certain atmosphere and just take over and like you can get really lost in it. That's always a vibe. Definitely, again, unique for her, different for her. It says online it's the Afro beats, a dance and music genre from Cape Verde. Yeah, a lot of cultural influences kind of coming together, different from the stuff that I have listened to in the past, kind of broadening my horizons a little bit. Kind of felt spiritual too, right? Like this kind of chanting, like mantra, hypnotic kind of energy. Okay, that was a good one. I liked it. The next one is called Killers Who Are Partying. I'm fully just gonna be like in another world for this album. And I think that's what she wanted. She said, welcome to the world of Madame X.
I will be gay if the gay are burned, if the children are exploited, and I know what I'm not.
So there's so much artistic value in this album, and I hope it's not overlooked.
Oh, come in, yo.
This is the Portuguese, I believe. So eclectic of her. I'm kind of impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I have a lot of respect for what she's doing.
I'll be Islam.
I'm curious if these lyrics were controversial, because I understand what she's saying. She's obviously not saying she's going to literally be poor. She's showing, you know, her solidarity with these groups. I'm just curious if maybe some people took these lyrics the wrong way or didn't like how she said it. I'm just curious, you know, if this was received well or not.
I know what I am. God knows what I am.
Confidence.
Do you know who you are?
Now hold on. I'm kind of realizing just how good this is.
Oh, come here.
Don't mind me.
Es solitario, yo sé porque soy yo que la uso.
I'm gonna mention the builds of her songs again because all of these songs, in my opinion, they kind of start out and I'm unsure how to feel and I don't know where it's gonna go, and then by the end of the song I am just completely lost in the vibe, and I love all the layers that are happening, and it just builds in such a beautiful artistic way every single time. I'm really getting into this now, I'm not gonna lie to you. The first couple tracks I was really scared. I'm opening my mind to the fact that I may like this a lot more than I realized at first. I mean, first couple tracks were still a bit rough for me, but like now that we're really getting into the meat of this, I'm kind of enjoying this. I'm dead to the world. I really love that like really close follow-up of and he knows what I'm not. I just think that kind of elevates the chorus. Wow. Every song... I see you. Every single song so far has been pretty lengthy, and every single song, I genuinely don't have any desire to turn it off before it's over. I really like that one. It just had a nice energy. I liked the Portuguese vibe that it had. I did have to look up, but it is like a Portuguese influence, and I like that. I thought it was a really pretty, catchy, pretty, vibey, trancey song. Gosh, I just really liked it, and I just felt like it was very artistic. This whole album just feels super artistic. And with any type of art, you're obviously going to have things about it maybe you would change. But I just want to say, I hope that the artistic merit of this album is not being overlooked, because whether you love it or hate it sonically, it's an artistic album, and it has artistic merit in my opinion. The next one is Crave with Sway Lee.
I'm tired of being far away from home, far from what can harm. Rush on you. Love, on you. Cause you're the one I crave, and my cravings get dangerous. The feelings never fade. I don't think we should play with this. I don't think we should wait for this. Cause you're the one I crave, and my cravings.
Wait, this is cute. This is so...
My cravings get dangerous.
This is my favorite one.
Get dangerous. I don't think we should wait. Cause I'm just me. That's all I can be. Something real. This is how we're made. I'm not afraid.
In addition to singing in a different style, I think she is leaning into a different way of singing. It feels like she's kind of clenching her jaw, singing from the lower teeth a bit more. There's not as much openness as like, you know, Rebel Heart or Like a Prayer, where she's just kind of belting it out. She's staying kind of more tame with the vocals. Oh, this one. This one is so palatable, especially after all the tracks that we just listened to have this palate cleanser. I am loving this one.
Down the ride me like a wave.
Ran so far to try to find the thing I lacked, and there it was inside of me.
Yes. Yes.
Ran so fast, a thing to last. You breathe. Cause you're the one I crave, and my cravings get dangerous. I don't think we should wait for this.
Oh, just something about it that's so wholesome and sweet. And it just shows like a softer side of her.
Ooh, I don't think we should wait.
It's on the line, girl, you're risking everything.
Of course, the shortest one was my favorite. I loved that one. Oh my gosh. That was just like a soft, sweet, catchy, perfect little song. So palatable, so enjoyable right away. Not as many crazy changes. It was actually pretty tame, pretty chill. Much needed after so many crazy songs. Speaking of crazy, the next one's called Crazy.
I spent all night waiting up. It's gonna be the last night I wait up. Used to think that I was not enough for you. Now I see that I'm just way too much.
Okay, unapologetic bitch. Getting into some love songs.
But if you think I've been foolish and you only fool me once, I guess it's shame on you.
Not getting as much auto-tune with this one, and it's a welcome change because I don't think she needs the auto-tune to make an impactful song.
Me crazy, puta loca. I won't let you drive me crazy. I won't let you drive me crazy.
She just sneaks the Portuguese in there.
I bend my knees for you like a prayer. My God, look at me now, layer after layer.
Oh my gosh.
Nothing left for me to keep round. I'm a force and I'm untamed, babe. Can't go, shame on you.
I love the layering on that. Again, so palatable.
Eu te amo,
Yes.
mas não deixo você me destruir.
I put you on a pedestal, but statues taken for. Felt so safe, I let you drive me straight into the wall. Shame on you. Say now if you think I've been foolish and you keep on trying to do it, baby, I must switch your plan. You must think I'm crazy.
Come on.
I won't let you drive me crazy. I won't let you drive me crazy. You must think I'm crazy. Você pensa que eu sou louca. Louca. Você não vai me pôr tão louca.
Okay. I'm fully fading. Like, I am not entirely here right now. I'm in another world. I'm in the world of Madame X. So you'll have to forgive me. I'm not really saying a lot. I don't know that I'm adding any value to your listening experience, but I hope you're enjoying listening with me. I just want to say that was a crazy song because I loved it. It was so palatable. It was such a nice little bop with her sneaking the Portuguese in there. It was so tastefully done. At one point, I was questioning every single sonic decision that she was making because it just felt so disjointed and odd, and it was so experimental that it was a lot to take in, and that was so much more palatable. We've gotten into a section, or maybe I'm just used to it now. I don't know. Maybe these are just better songs. I don't know. But like every decision she's made in the last couple tracks, I've been a huge fan of. Like I have no notes, no problems whatsoever. She's putting me under, y'all. She is doing something to me. The next one is called Come Alive. Maybe she'll make me come alive again because I'm feeling kind of...
I'm in the sky where I ought to be at. I've been watching you.
Her voice.
Rocket ship, now I don't want to blend in. Why you want me to?
I love the layers in the vocals.
And all I want is peace, 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 peace. See the world, have a see it. All I want is see it, see it, see it, see it. Come alive, come alive, come alive, come alive.
She traveled, she saw a part of the world that she hadn't seen before probably, and she realized all she wants is peace. All she wants is for, the wars to stop, all the hatred to stop, hatred of minorities. She just wants everyone to get along. Very relatable. I mean, most of us just want that as well.
Come alive, come on. I can react how you thought I'd react. I won't kneel before you. Front line, I won't stand in the back.
I can't believe I'm so into this right now. I really cannot believe this.
Stand out, no, I don't want to blend in. Why you want me to? Peace, 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 peace. See the world, have a see it. All I want to see it, see it, see it, see it, see it.
I love that. It's just so pretty. And maybe she feels like she's come alive since she's seen a bit more of the world and traveled. Travel really does make you feel like you're coming alive if you're a person who likes to travel. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate the artistic meaning behind this album so much. I really, really do.
Come alive, come alive, come alive, come alive, come alive, come alive.
I get you. I really do, Madonna. I get you, girl. Oh my God.
I'm in the sky where I ought to be at. Now I'm on to you. Mouth closed, I don't want your opinion. Who you talking to?
She kind of goes back and forth between like really confident, outspoken lyrics on this album and more like soft, heartfelt lyrics, if that makes sense. Like going back and forth between saying, shut your mouth, I don't want to hear your opinion, to all I want is peace.
Come alive, come alive. Dreams real, it's a lie. Come alive, come on. Come alive, come alive. Come alive, come alive.
I am moving and I am simply grooving. orchestra.
Front line, I won't stand in the back.
It's like a horse galloping. I'm under hypnosis right now. Orchestral choral sound again. Again, gorgeous build to this song. It's building up to this moment. Oh my gosh. I'm fully just not prepared for the songs to end. Fade outs. Okay. And I'm fading out for real. I genuinely feel like my level of consciousness has been altered merely by the music and the vibes she's bringing into my midst. I am just really vibing, and I don't know why. I mean, I never thought I would be vibing this much when the album started. If you had told me that I was going to be vibing this much, I would not have believed you. I am locked into a trance, completely dead to the world. I loved that one. I mean, come on. It was beautiful. It was orchestral. It was softer, less jarring transitions. The next one is called Extreme Occident. I admittedly have no idea what that means. What else is new? She likes to teach me new words. Okay, so Occident is the countries of the West, especially Europe and America. So potentially something I should have known, but didn't know.
I went to the far right.
There's certain times like she sounds like she's saying one thing, but she's saying another. Like, I don't know. I thought she said forest, but she said far right.
I've tried to recover. I guess I'm lost. I had to pay the cost. The thing that hurt me most was that I wasn't lost.
Trying to find her way.
I paid a handsome cost.
Doesn't build a whole ton.
It was a different feeling.
Super stream of consciousness. Almost like a conversation.
I was right.
A lot of pianos kind of subtly in the background while other stuff plays on top. Not my favorite one. During the front half of the song, it was really one note, and I just felt a bit complacent. Then we got kind of a fun vibe with the second half, but I don't know. It just still kind of fell flat for me. Yeah. Anyway, the next one, I don't know how to pronounce, but it is featuring Anita, who a lot of people asked me to react to. I have attempted to listen to her album Funk Generation, and it was not really my thing. So
Come to me, show me how you move your body. I said come, do it good. You know how I like to party.
is that Madonna?
Boca, sua boca. But today he's saying no way. Better throw the cachaça away. Boy, I think that you're losing your mind.
I am so interested to see her live performances because, again, the vocal dynamics and the vocal versatility, I'm like, are you really this versatile live too? Because this is like a totally different tone and like way that she's using her voice than I've ever heard before. And she's kind of leaning into an accent almost.
You're losing it. Eu não nego, ele é safado, ainda por cima é carinhoso. Ele faz tão gostoso. Ele não quer compromisso e na minha casa é perigoso.
Layers in the vocals again.
Sabe ainda amo meu amor. Ele faz tão gostoso. Ele faz
Hard to tell who's singing.
perigoso. Ele faz tão gostoso. Go, do it good. There's no rush, just move your body. I said go, do it good. Sarado, cuidado. You're losing it. Eu não nego, ele é safado, ainda por cima é carinhoso. Ele faz tão gostoso. Ele faz.
Again with that environment and that atmosphere. I like this.
Eu não nego, ele é safado, ainda por cima é carinhoso. Amo meu amor, ele faz tão gostoso. Ele faz tão gostoso. Sem cara perigoso. Ele faz tão gostoso. Ele faz tão gostoso. É safado, ainda por cima é carinhoso. Ele não quer compromisso e na minha casa é perigoso.
It's like a tornado siren in the background. I liked that one okay. It was very energetic. It had a lot of like layered vocals. It was just very random, like lots of energy, lots of atmosphere. Really loved the whole outro part with those sound effects, like even the tornado siren, whatever that was. I really liked that. I really liked just the kind of, again, that atmospheric vibe, putting you in the moment. It was a fun song. The next one is called Bitch, I'm Loca, featuring Maluma, once again, who was in the first track. Feels like so long ago we were listening to the first track of this album, and I was so scared for what I was in for. And it's been a fun journey, and we only have 4 tracks left now. So let's do it.
Bitch, I'm loca.
Y yo loco, loco.
Bésame la boca. Bitch, me gusta.
Y yo te probo. Igual la disco montando terror con sus amigas. Es lo que le gusta. Voy nada la intimida. Es que la más dura solo utiliza Chanel.
Mira cómo se mueve, cómo me baila, cómo me tiene.
These last couple have just been a lot for me to internalize, I think.
Bitch, I'm loca.
Y yo loco, loco.
Call and response kind of vibe, similar to the first track.
Young and hot, I'm not so sure that you can manage this type of entertainment.
So nice to meet you, Mrs. Crazy. Where do you want me to put this?
You can put it inside.
Yeah, wasn't a fan of that one, really. There were moments that I really liked. I thought the Bitch I'm Loca part was kind of fun, but it just didn't really stand out to me. I don't know. I liked Maluma's part. I thought he did a pretty good job. I don't know. Last couple have just been kind of more vibey, fun ones, you know, less commentary heavy, obviously. So the next one, though, I Don't Search, I Find. And then we're getting into Looking for Mercy and I Rise. I feel like we're going to get back into that, like, rising up from the ashes kind of energy.
I don't search, I find. Search, I found something new.
A lot of love themes, consistent with the rest of her discography.
I found the lights.
It's like if Ray of Light's lyrics and American Life's lyrics had a baby, and then it was set to the track of American Life, the album, and then it was raised in Portugal. This is the American Life album if it was raised in Portugal and had Ray of Light as a sister. She gonna take me to the spaceship? I'm feeling the aliens coming.
It's our gypsy blood between life and death. And in the end, we accept it. Finally, enough love.
Are we going from death to life or something with that transition in the middle there? I don't know.
I found peace.
I found love in a hopeless place. I'm fine. Who's she in love with? There's something happening up in my brain. I wasn't a huge fan of that one. I just couldn't really get into it on the same level that I was able to get into the middle tracks of this album, which is kind of ironic because usually the middle of the album is when I'm the most disengaged because it's like, you know, the hump that you're kind of trying to get over. But I've really loved the middle tracks most of all on this album, so kind of different for me. But yeah, I didn't love that one. It was fine. Like, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I just felt kind of like, okay. Like, there were moments that I liked. Sounded like a love song. I found love. I found you. I've been searching for you. And I found you. I haven't been searching for you. I don't search. I just find. The next one is called Looking for Mercy. Maybe we're going to get a church vibe again. I feel like the last two, I'm predicting, you know, choral, orchestra, big, grand church energy. That's delicious.
Every night before I close my eyes, I say a little prayer, dear God, to live inside the divine, not like I want to die.
I think this is the closest we're gonna get to a ballad on this album.
Love if it hurts. Is it really pain if it's inside? On the outside I'm strong. Hold my hand, please sympathize.
On the outside I'm strong, implying that on the inside she's weak or softer. She's going through the pain. And I saw a comment the other day. I don't remember if it was on a video or if it was on Genius or something, but someone said, you know, she kind of puts this strong persona forward. And so we're so used to seeing her as like this very strong figure that when you get the vulnerable lyrics that are so soft and so personal and intimate, it feels so refreshing and kind of jarring because you're so used to seeing her as this strong figure. And I just thought that was really beautiful and true.
I'm not trying to live.
I'm gonna fall asleep. Just ignore me.
Somebody to teach me to love. Somebody to help me rise above. I need to survive.
Triumphant survival.
I'm looking for mercy.
She has a lot of these songs about searching for the answers or searching for something that she doesn't have yet. We got a lot of that on Ray of Light. She was basically searching throughout the entire album. And I'm getting that same energy with this song. Like she's just constantly kind of searching for something.
Looking for mercy.
It's so pretty. I just feel like I'm gonna fall asleep.
Every night before I close my eyes, I say a little prayer that you'll have mercy. Floor by design. Yeah.
She goes down to this very conversational style of singing a lot in this album. Production. That kind of heavy sound. Ooh, it's just love that. I liked that one. It was really pretty. I liked the production a lot. I love how it started out with kind of that like haunting heavy sound. Really drew me in right away. I felt like it could have been half the length and I would have considered it a perfect song. It was a lot of repetitive lyrics and stuff. Interesting how she's kind of gone in and out of the commentary on this album. I mean, I guess kind of like American Life, you know, again, there were songs that were really commentary focused and then there were ones that were kind of just vibey and about love, and I think to kind of give you a palate cleanser from thinking super deeply about everything, because you don't want to have every single track be so into the commentary that it just gets really heavy to listen to. So we've gotten a lot of, you know, nice little songs that kind of gave me a breather from thinking about the lyrics. And we are on the last track. It is called I Rise. Get the sense it's going to be really grand and big and bold and beautiful.
Us kids don't know what we're talking about, that we're too young to understand how the government works.
Oh, a sample from Emma Gonzalez's speech on demanding stricter gun control following the shooting in 2018. Okay, I kind of love that.
I'm going through it, yeah, I know you see the tragic in it. Just hold on to the little bit of magic in it. Died 1,000 times.
Try to find the good in the world despite the bad.
I rise up above it.
Yeah, overcoming adversity.
River of tears ran dry, let 'em run.
Sonically, not what I expected at all.
Yes, we can get it together.
Maybe it's just that I had expectations for that song that weren't met, but didn't really like that one that much. I felt like the production wasn't strong enough for me to like really get excited about it, and it was very repetitive. I liked the whole message. I liked the whole vibe of it, like, you know, but I wasn't a fan of it sonically. I really wanted it to like build and maybe have like a grand moment, and we didn't get all that much build in it. So it kind of let me down, to be honest. I feel like I had mixed feelings on this album. I'm kind of going to go back to the same thing that I said about Rebel Heart. There was so much artistic beauty in this album that I really respected and really loved, especially in the middle of the album. From like the 4th or 5th track to the 9th track, that was my favorite section of the album easily. On a first listen, those were the songs that I connected the most to, and I felt so excited about the album at that point. Starting out the album, it started out kind of rocky for me. I wasn't sure how to feel. And finishing out the album, I felt kind of like, okay, those songs lacked something for me. So overall, I think I just had mixed feelings. And the whole thing with like Madame X and similar albums is like, not every album is going to be the artist's best body of work. Not every album is going to be like this perfect, critically acclaimed masterpiece. And I think sometimes it's easy to forget that there's nuance in music, and not every album has to be the artist's best work. And not every album that isn't the best is bad, if that makes sense. Like, you can have an album that's good, and it's not the best album ever written, and it's not bad, it's just kind of there, and it's good, and it's artistic, and it's nice. And for me, I feel like that's what this album is. I don't think it's her best album by any means, but I also don't think it's bad by any means. And I'm really glad that I listened to it, because I got so lost in so many of these songs and just had a really special experience listening to them. So I am really pleasantly surprised by my listening experience of this album. It was obviously a very experimental, kind of chaotic, all over the place album. There was not really any particular sound that she chose. There was not any particular vibe that she chose. But I think it's so cool that she went to Lisbon and then she made this album. It felt very artistic, and the artistic integrity behind this album is something to behold, and I don't want that to be overlooked. Quick look at the Wikipedia. Madonna co-wrote and co-produced the album with a number of musicians, including Murway. Okay, Diplo, he was on Rebel Heart, so that makes sense. I do think some of you guys said this was American Life Part 2. So that is making sense to me now, especially seeing she worked with Murway again. Latin, trap, art pop, and world music while dealing with political themes, sexism, gun control, freedom of speech, racism, and gay rights. Crave was a single. Okay, I Rise, I Don't Search, I Find. Those were the singles. Okay. I don't know about that, but I like Crave. I think that's an amazing single, but I can't really picture the other ones being singles, but that's just me. There was a film, a documentary film, Madame X. The music generally received positive reviews from critics. Many complimented the progressive sound in comparison to her previous efforts. Bizarre and patchwork. Yeah, patchwork is such a good word to describe it, and it is very bizarre, obviously. Okay, so people called it her best work since Confessions on a Dance Floor, and the only other album I've heard that came out since then was Rebel Heart. It's hard to say whether it's better than Rebel Heart or not. I mean, I think both had artistic integrity. Both had messages that were important. I think thematically, Rebel Heart is the winner, in my opinion. But I will say that I loved the world influence that this album had. That gave it such a unique edge, especially in comparison to her other bodies of work. Believing music is the soul of the universe, she felt connected to her new influences, so she decided to record an album based on her musical experience in the country, which she said was a melting pot of culture. See, that is something that makes me respect the album more, because maybe the entire point was to give you such an eclectic listening experience, because that's how she felt when she was in Portugal and the music she experienced there. I just wanted to say I've listened to it a few more times and I'm still pretty divided. The first few songs are very bizarre, but they've actually become my favorite songs on the album. I really kind of love the first 3 to 5 tracks on this album. Once it gets into the middle tracks, I still like them, but they kind of drag for me just a wee bit. And by the end of the album, those songs drag for me a lot. I just feel like they're very weakly made, in my opinion. Like, the production just doesn't get to where I need it to. But I just wanted to say, I was looking up my post from when I went to Portugal to find a picture to insert into this video, and I saw where in the caption I shared about what my Portuguese tour guide had told us. And he said the Portuguese people are a very bizarre people. That's, quote, what he said. And I just wanted to say that bizarre energy of this album, maybe that was intentional. If, again, a Portuguese man himself said that they're a very bizarre people, maybe it was intentional. Okay, and I think that could be very artistic as well. So I just thought that was kind of interesting to see, and I wanted to add that. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for being here, for being on this journey with me. Let me know anything I missed in the comments, which I'm sure I missed a lot. This was different for me, right? I'm really grateful for that I was able to expand my horizons even just a little bit. Like and subscribe if you want to, and I will see you very soon for the next video. Bye.